Morning everyone, thanks for joining us again. We have Anne and we have Aileen. So, and you can see everyone, actually it's good today on the camera, you can see everyone. So, the usual, okay, we're going to start off on the ground here, and we're going to start off in a cross-legged position. And today we're going to just concentrate an awful lot on maybe doing sort of different stretches. So Aileen was doing a little bit of weightlifting, so she's a little bit sore. So I was like, this will be an opportunity to maybe introduce in something a little bit different, where we'll put in some runner's poses and maybe hold some poses and take some breaths and see about stretching out the shoulders. Again, that's going to be an awful lot of downward facing dog. Sorry, Anne really doesn't like downward facing dog. I'm not doing the torture, Anne, I assure you. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll take, we're in a cross-legged position or straight legs, whatever is comfortable. Back nice and straight. A cushion underneath the bum in order to level out the hips. If you don't need a cushion, just pop it out. It's whatever is most comfortable. Leveling the hips is important. It enables you to straighten the back, and then we can keep our neck nice and straight and elongated. Okay, so what we're looking at now is we're going to just roll the shoulders first, and we're going to take our hands, pop into our knees, and we're going to roll around the shoulders. Try to loosen those shoulders, and while we're doing that, we're going to be taking a few breaths. So roll back, right, nice, and think about your shoulder blades coming over and back and down on the back. Okay, so breathe in and up and down. And down, nice and slow. Breathe in up and down. Breathe in up and down. Okay, so we're going to go in the opposite direction. Not as comfortable to go in the opposite direction. So you're bringing the shoulders forward, and you're bringing them up as far as the ears and back down. Breathe. It's all about taking the breath. My shoulders are quite stiff, so you might find that they mightn't be rolling in a nice even, it could be staggering or shaking or whatever. That's okay. So breathe and move those shoulders. Okay. Okay, and back the other way again. And we're going to do cat-cow in our seated position as well. Okay, so we'll take our hands back down, we take our shoulders down again. We're going to look at our alignment again. And cat-cow when you're in cross-legged position is when you catch your hands, pop them to your knees, and we're going to just arch the back and bring our body back as far as we can. And when we do that, we take our breath out as much as we can, and then we bring our body forward and take a breath in. So we breathe out and we come back. So breathe out. And then we come forward, breathe in. Nice and straight, open up that heart space, take those shoulders back. Breathe out. And breathe in. Nice open heart space, and breathe out. And do this in your own time. And breathe out. Try to keep the breath as even as possible. Okay, so hands into prayer position as well. Okay, so you know the drill on this. Nice open heart space. We take our hands into prayer position, and we're going to breathe in and up and out and down. So breathe in and up and out and down. Breathe in and up and out. Opposite direction. Take it up, breathe in and up, and push down. Breathe in and up, and down. Okay, so we're going to take it on to all fours again. Okay, so on all fours, what I want us to do again is we're going to stretch out the toes and we're going to bring our bum back onto our heels. Stretch those toes, take a breath, and keep the, so come in and out of this, because on your toes, this can be excruciating at times because you're stretching out the toes in a way that they'd never normally be stretched. So whatever way is comfortable, try and get those toes, bend them up, spread them out, whatever you want to do, whatever feels comfortable. But it's about getting a good stretch onto them. And then we'll sit back and we'll see, can we take a breath or two here? So, and then come in and out of it, because for me now this is excruciating. I really don't like this pose. Probably more reason for me to do it more often. But anyway, here we go. Okay, so we're going to take a breath again with our hands in prayer position and up and out. So breathe in now. And out. And come in and out as you need to. Breathe in and up. And out. Breathe in and up. And out. Breathe in up. And out. Okay, so take those feet back. Sit back onto those feet. So what we're looking to do is to make sure that our ankles are nice and straight, our feet are nice and pulled back. So that's why we go in and out of these poses. Sometimes our feet can be arched up and they're not touching the ground, and that's okay. So we're just aiming to breathe into those tight spaces, get a nice flow, and see can we stretch them out. And the more you stretch them, the more open they get. I used to even be able to sit like this. It was too painful for me. Morning, Anthony.
Morning, folks.
Are you joining us this morning?
Neil, I have to go on an appointment.
Oh, lovely. Okay, well we're on a little video here.
Oh,
so
sorry.
No, you're
Down
okay.
into downward facing dog.
I didn't know if you were going to say something that you may not have wanted to say on video, so
I probably would have, Mandy.
Okay. Okay.
Enjoy, folks.
Oh, thanks, Anthony. Okay. So what we're going to do here now is we're going to bring ourselves into downward facing dog, and then we're going to put ourselves into some nice runner poses, again, stretching out everything. Okay, so hands nice and flat onto the mat and really plant them in. And we're going to bring our back nice and straight, and we're going to come up into our downward facing dog, and we're going to pedal out those legs. Again, very stiff in the morning, so just pedal them out, get the blood flowing, and let that head and neck, let it be nice and loose. Okay, so it's always, the head and neck are never jarring, they're nice and loose. Heels are trying to get to the ground, but it's more important that we keep the back nice and straight. And we're taking breaths here, and take your body to where you feel the bit of discomfort, where you say, oh God, I'm really stiff there, and then where you're stiff, just take a breath into that and breathe into that. No pain, discomfort, yeah, but no pain. Come out of it if you feel any pain. Okay, and we always try to think as well of our shoulders not scrunching up by our ears or anything like that. We're trying to take our shoulder blades nice and far down the back again, and we're taking a breath here. Okay, and breathe. And we're starting to engage the tummy muscles and stretching out those the leg muscles all down the end, and pop that bum up in the air and nice and straight back. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take the right foot between the hands, and we're going to stay down with the right foot between the hands. So hands on the mat, staying on the mat, and right foot put between the hands. Okay, so here we go, hands still on the mat, and we're up on our back foot. So we have our back foot bent but our leg nice and straight. So this is runner's lunge, and this is a great stretching position. Okay, so we make sure again that our hips are facing the front of the mat, and we can look up in front, whatever way is comfortable for the head and neck, to make sure that it's not jarred. Now, while we're in this pose, we're going to take our hands to our hips. Okay, so breathe, and then we just take it up nice and controlled, and we breathe here. Okay, our control is not happening. Nice breath here. Okay, so Aileen, if you want to have a look at my back foot and Anne's back foot, what we're doing is we're keeping that up into runner's lunge. But the leg, so maybe you might need to take it out, take it out a little bit further, and see if you can go down a nice bent leg, nice bent leg, and then straighten the back leg if you can at all. And yet your hips are nice and forward. Okay, so we're breathing here, breathe. Engage the tummy muscles here, okay? So take a breath. Breathe. breathe. Okay, so we're going to just take the hands up in the air and take a breath here. Okay, so we're going to take it back down and we're going to go back into our plank for a moment, and we're going to slowly take it down and breathe out. And then up into upward facing dog. And look up, take a breath, nice and slow, and take it down into downward facing dog. Okay, so again, just readjust yourself how you need to. Come back to the breath again, and just try to loosen yourself up here. Okay. Okay, so next we're going to bring the left leg between our hands, and again back into runner's lunge. Take a nice wide stance here if you can. Bend the front leg, back leg, foot is up, but the leg itself is as straight as you can get. And if it's more comfortable to bend it, bend it. Okay, so we go left leg forward, and we're still sitting down. We're down in our lunge. So we have, it's like as if we're going on your marks, get set, go. So we're like that, and we're taking a breath here. Breathe. Okay, so now we're going to take our hands to our hips, nice and controlled, and then come up, and we're going to take a breath. And breathe. And again, hips facing forward. Good stretch on the legs here. Activate the bum muscles here as well to protect the back, and stretch out feel it actually in the legs here. Okay, so breathe. We'll take those hands up in the air. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so take it back down. Again, when you're taking it down, always make sure that you do it nice and controlled. Don't swing too much or anything like that. Now we're back into our plank. And again, everyone's used to me saying no saggy planks, nice and high on the toes and nice and light. Okay, so we bend the elbows and down into chaturanga. Breathe. Breathe out. And breathe in. Nice breath here. Again, activate those bum muscles, protect the back. Nice breath. And breathe out and into downward facing dog. Breathe. Okay, so the next stretches that we're going to do, we're going to bring our right leg up and straight, and keep the hips nice and straight here. We're going to pretend as well that our heel and our foot is planted against the wall, so we're activating all of the muscles again. And again, your maximus, what is it? Gluteus maximus. Make sure that's nice and activated there. So that's your bum muscle. Keep it nice and activated, and activate those legs as well. And take a few breaths. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so we'll take it down and we'll take up our left leg. Okay, so it appears like that we're doing a really slow class and that we're stretching out everything. But we're really doing an awful lot here for the muscles and for everything, for relaxation, for the mind, everything. So it's good to take this time, especially in the morning time, then you get the benefit for the whole day. Okay, so breathe. Breathe. Okay, so take it down. Okay, so we're still in downward facing dog. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take our 2 feet and we're going to walk them, jump them, whatever we want, up to our hands. Okay, now we're looking out in front with a nice straight back. So look up and again, concentrate on the back, nice and straight. Take a breath here and then breathe out and down. Okay, so now we're looking at the toes. Spread out the toes. We're after stretching out the toes in the last stretch. So now we're going to try and see, can we make sure that they're spread apart? And if they're not spreading, use your hands to spread them. And we're going to look, if it's more comfortable for you to bend your knees in this position, bend the knees, but bend the knees and then work towards straightening those legs, but always keep the back nice and straight. Okay, so grab the elbows and let the head and neck swing, and just take a breath here. And breathe into the discomfort in the backs of the legs. Breathe. Okay, so we're going to roll up nice and slow. Roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Okay, so take the hands up over the head. And breathe out and take those hands down. Okay, so we're back into our mountain pose here again. So again, mountain pose, the usual. We're looking at the heart space being nice and open. Shoulders back. The shoulder blades going close together and down the back. Very hard to actually do that when your shoulders are tight. So concentrate and take a breath into that. And if you need to, but we'll do it anyway. Why not? We'll clasp our hands on in the back. So I'll just show you. You take your two hands and you clasp them like that, and then you bring those shoulders back, and you try and bring those hands up, and as straight as you can have your alignment in this position, just to try and feel the shoulders, and then get the shoulder blades down and the shoulders down and back. Okay, and take a breath here. Breathe. 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 Okay, so unclasp the hands and we'll stand in our mountain pose. Legs hip width apart, core activated, again chest open, shoulders back, head and neck parallel to the ground, hands slightly out from the body, and we're taking a breath here. Breathe. Breathe in and out. If you can, in and out through the nose. If not, it's okay. Okay, so we're going to go into a sun salutation, and again, this is going to be all about a sun salutation with just stretches here. So we're breathing in and out of each pose nice and slowly. So it's sometimes this can be more tedious for people, but the longer you stay in a pose and the more breaths you take in it, the more that the body opens out. Okay, so we're going to bend the knees and we're going to take a breath in. Breathe in. And hands overhead and fold forward from the hips. Breathe out. Okay, so halfway lift, look up. Fold back down. Hands to the mat. Take left and right legs back. Okay, so now we're in our plank. Okay, so we're going to take a breath in our plank here. And we're going to make sure that our shoulders are over our wrists and that our plank is nice and straight. And we're taking a breath, and we're just going to rock forward just to feel the sensation of rocking forward and back. Okay, so breathe. Breathe. Activate those tummy muscles. Breathe. Okay, so slowly bend those elbows and bring your nose to the mat and into chaturanga. Breathe out and down. Breathe in and up. Okay. So we're going to stay in this position for a moment. We're going to activate the bum muscles again here. We're going to try and make sure our shoulders are back, our head and neck are nice and relaxed. And some people like to look up in this position, some people just like to look forward. But no matter what you do, just make sure that the neck is not jarring and that you're nice and comfortable. So we're not lazy in this position either. We're making sure that, like I say, our arms are planted into the mat, our hands are planted into the mat, our core is activated. We're looking up in front. We're making sure our heart space is open. So we're breathing here. This isn't. We're active in this pose. It can be a very, very comfortable pose when you've got a flexible back, and a very uncomfortable pose if the back needs to open or if the shoulders need to open out. So take a breath here. Breathe. 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 Okay. So we're going to take it nice and slow. Breathe out into downward facing dog again. Breathe out. Breathe. It's all about the breath. Yoga is all about the breath. It's gymnastics if we're not thinking about our breath. Okay. Okay, so we're going to go back into runner's pose again. So as I said, we get the right foot and we plant it between our hands and we leave our hands down as much forward as we can come. Okay, so leave our hands down. We're looking up in front in a on your marks, get set, go kind of a pose. And our chest can lean on the front of our leg here, and we're just concentrating on the alignment, making sure that the hips are nice and forward, activating the back leg. Okay, so now we're going to take the hands and we're going to bring them to our hips, and nice and controlled. Come up and take a breath here. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so we'll take the hands nice and slow over the head and keep breathing. And if you want to, sometimes people clasp the hands and they bring the fingers up and then they look up into the ceiling, and we take a breath here. Breathe. Breathe. Back down onto the hips again. Taking a breath, take it back down onto the mat. Breathe again. Take it back. We're into our plank. Again, we'll take a breath in the plank here and make sure that our shoulders are over our wrists and that we're nice and light in our plank. Bend those elbows. Breathe out. Breathe in and up. And breathe out into downward facing dog. Pedal out those legs. But keep breathing. Okay, so left leg between the hands. So chest on the top of the leg, hands out in front, look up, the whole on your marks, get set, go. Back leg, nice and straight, hips, nice and aligned with the front of the mat. Breathe here, activate those legs, make sure that you're working. You're not lazy in this pose, you're working in this pose. And you're also breathing and concentrating on the breath. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so hands to waist. Take it up, nice and controlled. Breathe. Back leg still nice and straight, bent leg. The knee should never go out over the toes. Nice breaths here. And we're using our core to keep us up nice and straight. Breathe. Take the hands up over the head. And breathe. This is a tough pose now. So we're going to clasp the hands if we want to. And we're going to look up and we're going to really breathe deeply into this pose. You really feel those muscles now. They should be nearly, I don't know, burning.
Pretty much screaming.
Yeah, screaming, yeah. Okay, they're screaming. And we take it down. Okay, so I'm losing my balance all over the place here. Take it back down and we're going to use our hands to bring ourselves back and into our plank again. Okay, so we're in our plank again. Nice light plank, shoulders over wrists. And we're going to bend those elbows, breathe out and down. And breathe in and up. And take a breath here again. Activate those bum muscles and we're going to take a breath out into downward facing dog. Breathe out. Nice straight back here, and again keep bringing yourself back to thinking about the alignment, thinking about your breath, thinking about what it is that you want to achieve here, what's tight, what's not. This pose is supposed to be one of the poses that gives you a full body workout, because you're stretching your shoulders, your back, the backs of your legs, you can feel your core activated. And we're breathing. Breathe. Breathe. Now we're actually going to go back into runner's lunge here, but we're going to put our back foot flat on the ground because we're going to do a little twist here. Okay, so we're going to go right leg in front. It's kind of like warrior pose, right leg in front again. But what we're going to do while we have our back leg flat on the mat is we're going to do a little twist here. So this will really help open the hips. So we have our right leg out. We're going to get our left arm and we're going to bring it over our right arm. We're going to see if we can go right over it. And if we can, we'll see if we bring ourselves into a prayer position here. Just to be able to twist those hips. Okay, so breathe. And we tuck that belly in if we can. Breathe. Breathe. So this is a balanced pose, and it's great for our insides as well. Always the twists are very good for our insides. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so take it down and take it back again. We're going back into our plank. And again, look at our plank. Take a breath out and down. And breathe in and up. Breathe out and take it down into downward facing dog. Okay, so left foot between the hands and our back foot down. Okay, so now we have our left foot up and we're going to take our right arm and we're going to bring it over our left leg here. And we're going to see, can we twist that body and bring it into a prayer position. And then this will stretch out those hips. And we take a breath. Breathe. Breathe. It's always harder to stay in these positions for long periods of time because you're really having to hold yourself and concentrate and try to breathe. And you're also feeling the discomfort, so there's a lot going on. Breathe. Breathe. Okay, so we'll take it back down. Back again into our plank. Take a breath out and down. Breathe in and up. And take a breath out and into downward facing dog. Okay. Okay, so we're nearly there, lads. We're just going to do one or two balance poses and take it back down and then onto the mat. Okay, so feet, two hands, breathe. Take a breath out. And look up in front, halfway lift. Breathe out and down, back down. Now here we're going to go up in one movement with a breath in with the hands overhead. A nice controlled movement. And breathe out and down. Okay, so we're going to do, we always do a balance pose because it's good to do a balance pose, and why not? We always practice these. Balance on the mat, balance in your life, and it helps with concentration, it helps with everything, helps with sleep, stress, anxiety, the whole lot. Okay, so you know this one, we've done it before, so I always call it airplane pose because I can never remember the name of it. I can't remember the name, but I still can't remember the name. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to make sure our left leg is planted into the mat, and we're going to take our right leg back and we're going to take our body forward. So what we do is we take the right leg back, take the front of the body forward, and we open out those arms. And we take a breath, breathe. Breathe. We keep the hips again, hips nice and straight. Breathe. Come in and out of it if you want. This is a tough one. Breathe. Breathe. And if you need to, you can use the mat to help you balance and bring you back up. Balance and bring you back up. Or you can use a wall, whatever helps. And we'll come out with that one. Again, we'll use the right leg planted into the mat, take the left leg back and take the body forward. Breathe. Breathe. Again, don't stack those hips. Hips nice and level. That's the challenge, keeping the hips nice and level. Breathe. And come up. Okay, so we're going to take it down onto the mat, and as I always say, this is the most important bit. we need to lie down. We need to lie down because it just helps. It just helps distribute the energy. And if you don't lie down, what does happen is you could find that after half an hour, you'd still find that your body could be shaking a little bit after yoga. It could be just, like you have this nervous energy. So what you're trying to do is release all of that energy to just relax and for it to flow into different parts of the body. So what we do is we just lie down and we think about, you could put a pillow under your head, and we think about the different areas of the body that we're just after moving. And here's Roisin. Hi, Roisin. No, you're all right, Roisin. Okay. So we think about our hands. Bring our hands out to the side and we just relax the fingers, let them curl. The feet are falling to the side and just relaxing into the mat. Everything's falling into the mat. If you feel uncomfortable here, bend the knees because sometimes it can be uncomfortable to lie flat on the ground. And you just take a breath and you feel your heart rate starting to slow, and you try to clear your mind and try to keep bringing your mind back to the breath. For years and years people meditate trying to open the mind and think about the breath and think about see you later, Roisin. And what you achieve with that as well is, it just gives you a bit of focus and gives you a bit of balance as well. So no matter, even if your mind starts racing, you just keep trying to bring it right back and concentrating and think about the stomach and how the stomach is falling down, and you can probably feel pulses in different parts of the body, and you just breathe into that and you let the blood flow into all those areas. Okay. So I'm going to come off the camera and we're going to stay relaxing, and thanks a million, and well done. Thank you.